And we should be live. Thank you for being here. Let's take a look at this video if I can play it. Whoop. Here we go.
We all need to work together. We need to limit our movements. We need to consider whenever we leave our house that anyone with us, anyone we come into contact with could convey the virus. So whilst it is in human nature to engage in conversation with others, to be friendly, unfortunately, this is not the time to do that. So even if you run into your next door neighbour in the shopping centre, in the Coles, whilst you're at Coles or Woolworths or Aldi or any other grocery shop, don't start up a conversation. Now is the time for minimising your interactions with others. Even if you've got a mask, do not think that affords total protection. We want to be absolutely sure that as we go about our daily lives, we do not come into contact with anyone else that would pose a risk.
Well, there you go. That's new Australians NSW Chief Health Officer Dr. Kerry Chant. Whenever you leave your house, don't start up a conversation. Do not come in contact with anyone who would pose a risk. There's definitely on another level down under. That one, I think, it's American Tribune from the John F. Kennedy Jr. Telegram channel. Hello, everybody. Let me see if I could do this here. Right? 8/11/2021, FEMA Region 5, Detroit, Michigan. Me, BJ Hammerstein. Hammer. What's going on? How's everyone doing? It's been a week. So I guess maybe the last show was Tuesday night or Monday night. Let's maybe go right there and just start with that. Can we see it? Yeah, let's see it. So this is why you didn't see me for a week. YouTube. Hi, BJ Hammerstein. Our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, we think it violates our misinformation policy. We've removed the following content from YouTube. 802 Live, German newspaper, Bild apologizes. China lockdowns, Arizona election subpoena. We know this might be disappointing, but it is important to us that YouTube is a safe place for all. If content breaks our rules, we remove it. If you think we've made a mistake, you can appeal, and we'll take another look. Keep reading for more details. How your content violated the policy. Content that advances false claims that widespread fraud, errors, or glitches change the outcome of the U.S. 2020 presidential election is not allowed on YouTube. That's what I did. Your channel now has one strike. You won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for 1 week. That has ended. A second strike will prevent you from publishing content for 2 weeks. 3 strikes in the same 90-day period will result in your channel being permanently removed from YouTube. Which is, it's kind of, that's, it's a bummer. It's a bummer, the censorship of what's going on right now. And, I've been talking about this. This affects me deeply and personally and essentially professionally, as I was a former journalist. I probably want to get back into that field during these pandemic times and try to maybe earn a living doing kind of what I'm doing right now. I don't know how this is going to be possible, of course, because I keep getting kicked off. It's almost impossible for me to get an audience. I think next time, and I wrote Twitter today again about my suspension that's been going on since January. And it's like, it's pretty frustrating, It's like, how are people supposed to share this information? So moving forward, how do I do this show here? It's going to be a challenge, I would say. One of the options, is like, I like the audience here. I like the YouTube setup, ultimately. My streaming system works with this well. I might have my internet issues relatively solved, even though once I start to say that, bad things happen. So I don't know. It's going to be tough to say. I don't know. Let's see here. For some reason, I got Chappelle up. Let's take a look over here a second. So, like for instance, the Mike Lindell event that's been broadcasting for the last 48 hours. I've been watching that pretty much the whole time, and I can't really talk about any of that here. I can say that Patrick Colbeck from Michigan, he played prominently both days. I think I've seen him. Antrim County in Michigan was mentioned, of course. Secretaries of State were mentioned. And I'll probably wait and tomorrow night, Friday night, we'll let it go, and then I'll try to figure out a way to talk about it. Chappelle is in town for a Netflix show, and I guess I just wanted to bring this up as this is, the big story, and I can't really talk about the big story the way I want, but I can talk about it in certain ways like this. So Chappelle's in Detroit doing shows, and I love Chappelle. I've seen him live a couple times. I never was able to interview him, though I tried while I was at the Free Press. I interviewed Charlie Murphy for sure. I don't think I interviewed Bill Burr, but I love Bill Burr. He's playing at the Fox, I think 11:11. Today's 8:11. Last month was 7:11. If you know those 7-Eleven, 9/11, all these things. Very tricky numbers. But let me read this underneath this venue and event info. This is the FillmoreDetroit.com. Dave Chappelle. Remember when it took me like a minute to figure out what he was talking about. The great French actor, Juicy Smollett. That was so funny. And then I think I can't play it, but this is, well, maybe I could play like a second of it. Oh, so
if it's one thing that
I
the
don't know.
L's and the G's agree on.
I can't really probably play it anymore, but that was a really funny skit too. But let me read this because I will definitely not be seeing Dave Chappelle. Venue and event info. Doors 5:30 p.m. Show 7 p.m. Ages 18 plus. Welcome with valid ID. Important event information. Mandatory rapid COVID-19 antigen testing. Each ticket holder will receive a rapid COVID-19 antigen test upon arriving at the venue. If COVID-19 is detected by the rapid test, that individual and all members of the same household will not be allowed to enter and will be given a refund. Rapid COVID-19 antigen testing to begin at 4 p.m. This is a strict no cell phones allowed show. That's for sure. Dave Chappelle will never let a cell phone into the show. We learned that long ago. Please leave your phones in your cars or at home. Anyone who brings a cell phone or smartwatch will be required to place it in a locked yonder pouch. Everyone is subject to a pat down and wanding. Anyone caught with a cell phone inside the venue will be immediately ejected. I will say that all that is true. That's going to happen to you. And it's advertised that way, and I appreciate that. Bill Burr, on his note, I think it says if you have above 100.4 degree temperature, or you feel symptoms of COVID, stay at home. That's what they say. And Bill Burr, the 11:11 show, I believe, is at the Fox Theater, right next to the Fillmore Theater. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I'll watch the show on Netflix for sure, but I'm not going to go to a show where they're just doing tests. Like that, the antigen test is the test that they stick up your nose. So in Michigan, I've been watching this. This is a new Free Press story from today. These grocery store retailers, restaurants updated mask mandates due to Delta variant. This is by Sue Selesky. I know Sue, Detroit Free Press. With the surge of the COVID-19, we don't really care about that stuff. I'm sorry. We just want to see who proof of vaccination, all staff fully vaccinated. Aldi is one of the places. Bush's Fresh Food Market, Costco. So they got, sometime was away, since I left journalism in 2013, 2014. It took me a little while to get back into the workflow, but once I did, I think in 2015, I was a waiter, bartender again, and I've pretty much have been doing that since this COVID lockdown stuff started, and now I don't know what the heck's gonna happen to me or what I'm gonna do. But we'll kind of continue on. So these are just kind of some fun stories we pulled together. Since I haven't been live in a week, I didn't want to go too hardcore to get the channel removed for one, or to spend too much time. But my brain is a little bit like mush right now because today during the thing I can't speak of with the pillow guy, it was really about data and computers and all these very sort of complicated complicated for me, mathematical sort of deals. I'm better with the communication and the talking. I'm not so great with math, but I'm not terrible. So this comes from August 10th, and we're at the New York Post here, and this is local Detroit interest story here. Rep Rashida Tlaib seen dancing at wedding without mask after slamming Rand Paul. Rand Paul, I was told, is kicked off of YouTube right now, like me, like I was. Democratic Rep Rashida Tlaib. This is from the New York Post, if I didn't say that. Let's see if I can read it over here for you guys. Maybe my face will be better this way for a minute. I really can't read it as well. But Democratic Rep Rashida Tlaib, who assailed GOP Senator Rand Paul for urging Americans to resist new CDC guidelines, danced without a mask at an indoor wedding in a county in her home state with substantials in quotes, COVID-19 transmission. Now these like gotcha stories. This isn't great fun. I don't particularly care for this, but in the world that we live in right now, we have to show why it's important to stand up to government officials, all of them, from both sides of the aisle. Really, truly, really. So the Tlaib, D from Michigan, was captured on video in the Instagram story of Bassam Salah, a wedding band in Dearborn, Michigan, as she danced and posed for photos at the large indoor gathering Sunday, Fox News reported. The band tagged the location as Ford Community and Performing Arts Center in Dearborn, a city in Wayne County, which is rated as an orange zone by the CDC, according to the news outlet. Now, and I don't know what this orange zone, Dearborn. I'm pointing west. I'm in Southwest Detroit, and Dearborn is really the next big city, kind of over to the west of me. I'm not far from Dearborn at all. As a matter of fact, I could ride my little bike over there, as I have, right past the place that I think she's been at, the Performing Arts Center, for sure. The video emerged on the same day the lawmaker. Has anyone left any comments? No comments yet. If anyone leaves, please leave a comment. I'll respond. I want to say hellos to show regular Amanda. She can't be here commenting right now, though she plans to watch the replay. She lost power tonight. We had some storms come through here in the early afternoon. I don't think my father watches these videos, but Dad, this reminds me of when you lived in Tampa, Florida, when in the afternoons, like the humidity was so hot, then like a storm would roll through, cool off everything, and then the same thing would happen the next day. We're kind of having Tampa, Florida weather this week. Also, I want to say hi to Sue, also a commenter. She's been taking a little time off of the internet and, the fight. It's a grind, and it is depressing at times. One of the reasons why, when YouTube kicks me off for a week, and I can't really communicate with you guys, I get a little bit upset because I do want to communicate with you because I kind of make the grind a little more bearable, I'd say. Though these videos, we still have a long way to go. Excuse me. But we're getting there, right? The video emerged on the same day the lawmaker, a key member of the Democratic squad, along with Reps AOC Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts, and Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, slam Paul, our Kentucky, who posted a video encouraging people to resist federal guidelines. Resist federal guidelines. Resist or obey. The Shepherd Ferry message, obey, obey. The Kentucky senator, this is in quotes, the Kentucky senator is throwing a tantrum as his state is being swallowed whole by this virus. Again, Tlaib wrote on Twitter, where she posted a Kentucky map showing counties with elevated risk categories. People are getting sick and dying. 98 counties in Kentucky have a high incidence rate of COVID-19. He needs to put politics aside and put people first. Start resisting the virus, she added. Now, there in this picture here, Wayne County, where the wedding was held, is recognized as having having substantial levels of transmission of COVID-19. This is from Instagram, or the pictures from Instagram, and then the New York Post wrote that in the comments. But you could definitely see no masks, and they're close, and they've been dancing, and she's dancing right there. Tlaib's office did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Fox News. Well, that was pretty fun, wasn't it? I think I have a couple more fun videos over here. This one's pretty fun. I don't think this is so way back when I was first making videos. I was one of the people that wanted to, I tried to talk about all the things that was happening as it was happening. So this is like November, December time, and I was getting dinged by YouTube and everybody else then for sharing these things. Like Fox News, I think, was suspended from Twitter for this, right? They couldn't share any Hunter Biden laptop computer stories since... Oh, look at... We have a... Is this sounds like somebody I know. Revolutionary... I got a comment, so I'm just going to share it right now, and then we'll get back to it. Revolutionary Piggy says, seems like living in the middle of nowhere is becoming more and more appealing. It is so reassuring to see others... To see others who are aware of the tyranny we are living in. Thank you for your work. Oh, well, thank you, Revolutionary Piggies. Your voice kind of reminds me of my friend Sue. You live somewhere in the middle of nowhere, which I'm very jealous of. That was a plan of mine, which I've detailed a little bit in the past. I want to live in the UP. This is back in 2015. My sort of journey away from all this began when I was working at the Detroit Free Press, and I fell into dirty local judges in Michigan. They're the JAMS judges, Jail Alternative for Michigan Services. They own the alcohol and drug testing centers that they sentence people to. There's a bunch of them. So many different things are connected to it. So from there, I learned all the stuff, and yeah, it's frightening what's going on. And I've been trying to warn people, specifically like my Metro Detroit audience, and I did share a link to this video like at like noon today on Facebook, and I got more likes and sort of comments than I have before in the past. So I think as this goes on, more and more people are becoming aware. Oh, we got the cat. We got the cat's oops.
Fucking gross.
Oopsies. You can't play that. Hold on.
They seem greedy to...
Hold on. We're Shadow just came in here and ruined everything. Give me a second, guys, to find out where that video is. It's Chappelle. I found it. Stop. Well, that's pretty funny. Sorry for the break there. That's what happens when you have a cat, though, right? So where were we? Rashida Tlaib. Oh, we were talking about Hunter Biden, and then I was talking to Revolutionary Piggies. Thank you so much for being here. There is a cat here. Not a cat here. Let's go to the widescreen a second and see if we could show her. Shadow, stand up a second. She's right here. But you'll see her in a minute. Her name's Shadow. She's wonderful. Really great cat. Except when she jumps in the middle of the show, but that's okay. So going back to it, and it looks like my stream or my camera isn't as sharp as I would like, but that's all right. At least we haven't got kicked off the internet yet, right? So, oh, here, the cat's on the move, and she's off. So this is an exclusive to the UK's Daily Mail, and again, we weren't allowed to talk about this. This was fake news from the mainstream media back in October, I think, when it was breaking. Oh, no one's allowed to talk about it. That's not real. It's not happening. And it was real, and it does seem to be happening. But I'm not going to say too much because, I just got out of YouTube jail, and we don't want to get anybody mad at me. Again. Exclusive. The Russians have videos of me doing crazy effing sex. Hunter Biden is seen in unearthed footage telling a prostitute that Russian drug dealers stole another of his laptops for blackmail while he was close to overdosing in a Vegas hotel room. Hey. We'll let you go to the link. We won't read the bold print that says warning explicit content, even though this is so good. Hunter Biden claims Russian drug dealer stole another one of his laptops for blackmail while he was drugged out in a Vegas hotel room. He was drugged out and he actually was unconscious, I believe, and that's not so funny. So I don't want to make light of substance abuse or any of these types of things. And he is our president's son. The smartest man he knows. Smartest man Joe Biden knows. And this was the big story. I thought this came out like a week or so ago. And Dr. Shiva talked about it today. And I don't feel I could really talk about it here. But Dr. Shiva was in South Dakota. And interesting person, Dr. Shiva. This is from a Gateway Pundit story from August 3rd. I will have links in the show description when I get around to it after I end the show and take care of the cat and open up the windows and take a sip of water, all the things that I do, and turn the fans back on. Get back to it all. But this is really, really fascinating to me. And I am going to do a larger show on the inner workings of what he's talking about here. I feel that I could be, I know I'm a little small nobody, and I do like to watch the Montagraph channel. I am a nobody, and we're watching the greatest show on earth. It's crazy for sure. But it seems to me like my internet has problems when I'm going live, or I don't know, all sorts of weird things seem to be happening. So I'm on a list. I'm on a lot of lists. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. So, sorry, I should have probably been a little bit more, sort of professional with my cuts and all that. I'm in a chill mood. I'm in a fun mood today. It seems like it's getting to people. And there's some interesting dates. There's the September 15th military date on the vaccine, the jabs. Oops, I don't want to do that. I actually want to get rid of Telegram right now. So we'll get back to that. Let's set up, I want to set up for this next show, or this next little part here. And we got to talk about the governor, or the former governor, or the soon-to-be former governor of New York. And him and Whitmer, I thought, they're like almost the same. Not exactly the same, kind of the same. Let me see if I have, this will be fun. This will be a fun little talk here. Champtown. Hey, Champtown, what's going on, buddy? So when did I meet you, Champtown? Like these real Detroit years. So like 2001, 2002. Um, what's going on? I don't use Facebook often, but today I saw Champtown, and Champtown left a note on my show, and we subscribe to each other's channels. What do you do? A cooking show, Champtown? You should leave a link to your YouTube channel here, and we could share it with people. I am for sharing information and sharing all that. But Champtown, back when I was doing music at Real Detroit, I think. You still making music? Champtown writes, yes. You did a write-up on me. That's back at the Real Detroit days. And when I met Charlie LaDuff, that was also during the Real Detroit days. So on Facebook, and I don't really use Facebook. I go on there, I look around, I'll leave a link to a video. Like last week, I did let people know that I was suspended from YouTube. Today, I was on there, and I let people know that I'm breaking out of YouTube jail. But I'm always interested because I have lots of media friends, and the audience that I want all these people. Yes, sir. Champtown is sort of making music still. That's what I'm gathering from the yes, sir, and the sorta from Champtown. Well, I'm going to check out your show for sure, and I'll look at the website some more. And I really appreciate you being here and saying nice things about me as a writer. I like all that stuff. Flattery does help out, especially when you're like me and you've been canceled for like almost a decade now. Trying to get back into it. It's tough stuff. So Charlie LaDuff, I interviewed him via phone when I was editor of Real Detroit. Same sort of era as Champtown, not early Detroit hip hop days. This is 2000, 2005. So like Jay Dilla, Slum Village was the 90s. This is like sort of the Eminem shot put time was 1999, and then through the OOs, the aughts, right? I think that's how we would do it. But man, the Detroit hip hop scene was so alive and so thriving. Tuesday nights at Northern Lights Lounge. Oh man, amazing stuff. People kind of get freaked out that I talk about this sort of, I guess, political view and have the background that I have, but I'm for, not political parties, though I did work for the Democratic Party. I have to remind everyone that. I worked at the State House. Actually, Andy Meisner, I was a writer for him when he was an Oakland County rep, I think a Ferndale rep, and he was one of the people that liked my little Facebook post that I was doing a video. Andy, if you're watching, please leave a comment. I've always wanted to talk to you about the jams judges in Oakland County and some other things that you probably don't want to talk to me about. But that would be fun. So Charlie LaDuff, he did a book on Detroit hip hop, and I interviewed him about that while I was living in New York. And then when I was at the Free Press, he was at the Detroit News, just got back from New York, I believe, and we used to smoke cigarettes together outside. I do not condone smoking. My niece and nephew, if you're watching, no, sorry, Mom. I'm just telling a story. It happens. And then I remember, so I like LaDuff a lot. And, the Drew and Mike days, I was writing about Drew and Mike for the Free Press, and at the end of the show, I was there, and LaDuff was there. We kind of ran around, and it was cool. He was cool. I liked seeing him at the News Free Press. When I was at the Free, he was at the News. So first I'll say, I saw this one. Thanks to all of you. We are back in the top 100 news podcasts in the entire United States. We know you want your news, no bullshit. And thanks to whoever made this tasty poster, No BS News Hour. And he does this show with another friend of mine, Karen Dumas, who used to do communications for David Bing, Mayor Bing. And I listened to their show today. I do the ands and I keep my sort of voice going because I want it to be kind of musical. I don't like the dead airspace. I should probably just stop talking sometimes, right? I remind myself of the pillow guy who might ramble a little bit here. So it's 9:30. I got to speed through this a little bit faster. So I apologize for that. Let me move this one little thing over here a second, and then we'll be okay. It's not the prettiest presentation tonight, but I should say that I am an amateur here. Like, I have journalism experience, of course, but podcasting, yeah, there's 40 videos I think I've made, and I have done some radio in the past, but it's just me. It's a one-man show. I would like a producer and a nice setup, maybe in the future. I'd like to also build a magazine and a newspaper, because we need some real independent journalism. People like Champtown, the local music scene. It's really going to be a new economy if the trillions of dollars don't get sent out the way that they're supposed to. But I got to stay on point here and finish the show, right? It's already 9:30. It's going late. Cuomo resigns in New York not only for sexual harassment allegations, but also for lying through his rotten teeth about nursing home deaths. The nation's attention will surely now turn towards Michigan and what happened here. And we'll go back to that in a second. And today, or not today, over the weekend, let me see if I can find. Okay, so here is the show that I watched or listened to today. And this is the No Bullshit News, Charlie LaDuff. So you want to go to www.nobsnewshour.com. And I listened to the Real News, Fake People, No BS News Hour. And one of the things that was said I want to comment on is they made mention that somebody might be looking for Karen to be a lieutenant governor. And that would be very, very interesting. I hope that that's the case. I would like to hear more about that. And I'll leave it there. This election season could be very interesting. You know, I'm looking at a lot of different things, not things I'm allowed to talk about here right now. So I encourage you to definitely support Charlie's show and all that stuff. So LaDuff, he was at the TCF Center for the election that happened on Tuesday, and he was there November 3rd. And I haven't listened to the show enough to really comment on it. So I'll just say that he's done good reporting on, what he sees. And he unfortunately, I don't think he's looking into it deeper and beyond maybe the Wayne County stuff. And maybe that's okay too, because, he's reporting on where he was. And I need to look at it more. I'd like to talk to him about it. I'd like to talk to them. So he does imply that Cuomo stepped down for the nursing home deaths. And I don't think that that's the case, though. At the end of, this is the New York Post again, Andrew Cuomo resigns as governor of New York. In a dramatic fall from grace, Governor Cuomo on Tuesday surrendered to the wave of scandals. I mean, I guess the wave of scandals does put that up there. So the DOJ, Justice Department, won't probe Michigan nursing home deaths. I just want to bring that up. I was with some people over the weekend talking about things. LaDuff was actually mentioned, and we talked about this kind of story, the nursing homes. And I went to the TCF Center to see if there was any, action I don't know, that's not the right word for it. If they were treating patients for COVID-19. And I didn't really see. And I was taking pictures and sharing it on Twitter, which I would share with you right now. But, Twitter got rid of me. So moving on from there. So the Justice Department won't probe Michigan nursing home deaths. But there is, I guess, and LaDuff, he was hopeful at the end. He's like, he hopes that, our elderly aren't forgotten about, and nobody should be forgotten about during this whole thing. Like, my whole point is, like, both of these parties, they're going to be folded into one called the Establishment Party, and then there's going to be some sort of American First Movement Party that comes next. The system's collapsing, eating itself up right now. The trillions and trillions of dollars spending package or rescue package or whatever the heck they're calling it is very troublesome. But so the GOP reps request probe after Justice Department won't investigate COVID nursing home deaths. Here in Michigan, there's not a whole lot of support on these things. And again, I really don't want it to be a Republican or Democrat thing. They both suck. Right? So maybe they'll do something. They should have been doing something the whole way. So Cuomo, there is the... I thought he had nipple rings, but here the New York Post says, of course not. Sorry, Internet. Senior aide Richard Azzopardi told the New York Post when that came out. So March 31st, 2020, yes, disinformation can be deadly. Don't believe that Andrew Cuomo had his nipples pierced. That would be terrifying. But you should have known some of it was coming. Oh, not only because, he won the Emmy. Where's the one story? Shoot. Oh. Andrew Cuomo doubles down on eligible bachelor status. I mean, he went on TV. People were joking around with him, though. Like, at the beginning, he was on TV schmoozing, with Dr. Fauci. They're gonna be actors. De Niro, Pacino. I think Fauci here had Brad Pitt play him on Saturday Night Live. I mean, what sort of world are we living in? Do you think that Dr. Fauci looks in the mirror and thinks that he looks like Brad Pitt? Oh, we can only hope. What was this one? Oh, yeah. He won the Emmy. Andrew Cuomo accepts Emmy Award as coronavirus case continues to rise. They're all actors on the world stage, playing their parts extremely well right now. Winning Emmys, fooling the masses, getting us all yelling and screaming at each other. Let's do the quickest look at the headlines, and I will say goodbye to you. Thank you, Champtown. And Revolutionary Piggies for commenting. Thank you all for being here tonight. Anything happening? Ooh, storms leave 600,000 Michiganders without power. Biden calls Governor Whitmer Jennifer during White House event. I mean, you know what? I kind of do the same thing because when I worked for the state, Jenny G from the block was up there in Lansing. And so I make the same mistake that Joe Biden makes. I'm sure there's better stories than like, learn my name. Oh, wait a second. I'm laughing too much to look at this. This is from Paul Egan of the Detroit Free Press. Biden calls Governor Gretchen Whitmer Jennifer during meeting on infrastructure package. Not again. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer bristled during the 2018 campaign when a Republican opponent, former State Attorney General Bill Schuette, I say everyone's names right, called her Jennifer, an apparent slip of the tongue. Learn my name, Whitmer told the former candidate, who apparently was thinking of Michigan's first female governor, Jennifer Granholm. Me too. Who is also a Democrat but looks nothing like Whitmer. They don't look alike. When I was working for the State House, Granholm was like in her last year, and one of the first things that I learned was that Whitmer was going to probably be governor. It's true. And then on Wednesday nights, it's Reps Gone Wild up at the strip bar in Lansing, whatever that's called. Omar's? Is that what it's called? Thank you, Jennifer, for what you've done, Biden told Whitmer after she thanked Biden for his leadership in winning U.S. Senate passage of a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. She said will help her fulfill her 2018 pledge to fix the damn roads. Yeah, isn't that funny? If approved by the U.S. House, the bill would send $7.3 billion to Michigan for highway repairs, more than $500 million for bridge work. Granholm is now Biden's energy secretary. The slip-up happened during a virtual event hosted by the White House related to the infrastructure package. Biden had called Whitmer Gretchen earlier in the program. Oh, well, there you have it. There you have it. Anything good from Zero Hedge? Hunter Biden, we know. We already looked at that. CDC forced to adjust Sunday's Florida record COVID count lower by almost 50% after state health department cries foul on data. I guess that's worth taking one quick look at. CDC forced to adjust Sunday's Florida record COVID count lowered by almost 50% after the state health department cries foul on data. I think Zero Hedge pointed it out. This happened like the time that they came to fix it. It's too late. The damage is done. The media, the fake news has been spread. Disinformation's deadly. We're all going to die. We are all going to die, by the way. Huge update. Code Monkey Z files released at Lindell Cyber Symposium. Not likely criminal issue as reported earlier. Findings a game changer. This is the Gateway Pundit. I'm not really going to... We got... Oh, look. We got a new comment. Yes. Revolutionary Piggies. I will add these to the description. So, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the comments and trying to talk at the same time. So first, I'll answer both these questions. I'll read both these. Could you link these sources somewhere? Yes. From Revolutionary Piggies. I'm having a hard time. I'm getting tired. Revolutionary Piggies. Speaking of Fauci, it must take a lot of brown-nosing to become the highest paid person in government. He's been there very long. He's been there for decades and decades. And the way that I sort of, I guess somebody maybe planted the seed in my head when I was doing all my crazy research back in the day. But like, when you and this goes like when the highest paid actors and actresses, the CEOs who get the largest payouts and bonuses, the people like Dr. Fauci who make the most money, those are the ones that tell the best lies and are the best actors and win the most Emmys. It's a stage. Shakespeare told us all that stuff, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger to Americans against tyrannical COVID restrictions. Screw your freedom, says Arnold. I mean, it's all like very hysterical. So answering your question, could you link these sources somewhere? Yes. In the description box, I will add like headlines and all the links to all this. I have them all right here. I have a pretty good, after... It'll be posted, it'll be live, and the links won't be there, but over the next hour or so, I'll add them, and then I crash out after the show. So generally, I'm going to try to do the show at 9 o'clock, and then I'll add the links to it, and then you can look at it some more. And we go back to it. I like to introduce the links, and then we come back to it, and we'll talk about it more and more as we get to learn more about it. Washington Post. Democratic divisions emerge after Senate adopts $3.5 trillion budget. Again, this is troublesome. Everyone should be freaking out about that. If you have children or grandchildren, I don't. I have a niece and a nephew. I have a cat, Shadow. But I'm very worried about our country and our children and the future. And it's worth doing all this stuff for. It's worth doing everything for. I wish more people would do it. The cool thing about the Lindell, Mr. Pillow stuff that was happening over the last 2 days, and I kind of felt this way about the whole pandemic. We've been sort of afforded this opportunity to really look at our government, do this research into all the systems and what's been going on. It's been really wild, and I geek out watching this stuff like today. I want to watch all of it. I want to see it happen. I don't know if today was, I think Monday was more, or Tuesday, today's Wednesday, right? So the first day one, which was Tuesday, I thought that was a little bit more effective than today, though I think that there might be some big information that is put together. And this was important to do today, to show people how these cyber experts went about gathering what they gathered, which I'm not allowed to talk about any of this stuff. So hopefully, what's this? Election officials fear for personal safety amid false claims on voting. So this is the Washington Post. So this is the story I can read, but not the other story, which is really just, it's crazy to me as a journalist. And people that I talk to, and I think, Mom, I'm going to have you write a letter to YouTube, and I want you to tell them that I'm not a bad person or a bad journalist, right? CNN, give it to me, baby. Booster shots for the immunocompromised expected soon. Another big company hit by ransomware attack. My Xfinity Comcast was going crazy during the Mr. Pillow stuff over the last 2 days, but it seems to have been good tonight. All right, again, Champtown Revolutionary Piggies, thank you both for commenting and tuning in. I'm going to do it again tomorrow night, Thursday at 9 p.m. I'm going to add the links. I'm going to open up the windows, drink a little water, check in with the cats. I guess we'll go to the full screen right now. I'm saying goodbye quietly. See, it looks fuzzy to me right here, but thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm going to do it again tomorrow night, and we'll start to get back into the news a little bit harder edged as we get deeper and deeper into the week, and hopefully we could do this without getting kicked off of YouTube. But maybe we'll do a show on Twitch. I'm looking for suggestions. I'm not real good at this. I want to keep it simple. That's probably one of my biggest problems. But again, thanks so much for being here. And please like it, subscribe, all that. Thanks so much. Good night. Bye-bye.